What a start of the year! We already had a good couple of banger releases and we haven't even finished yet. Today, I'm bringing you my opinions and reviews on some more designer releases. We will talk about the new Scandal Elixir Parfum, Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Jasmine Absolute, and a new Prada release. If you are interested, then keep on watching. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana and I am a fragrance enthusiast who has been collecting fragrances over the last 5 years. Here on this channel we talk about all fragrances. It doesn't matter if it's niche, designer or Middle Eastern, the ultimate goal is just to smell good and feel good. So, let's start with the new Alien Pulp from Mugler. I think this was released a little bit earlier in the US than in Europe, so this might not be new to you if you are sitting in the US, but I hope that my review will still add some value. I got this one from my boyfriend as he loves Alien on me. So when I first sprayed it, then I described it as basically Alien with some marshmallows. This was without watching any reviews or looking into the notes. It smelled like a kind of fluffy, juvenile, girly version of the original Alien with some added berries and sweetness. The jasmine was the same kind of jasmine edge, if you know what I mean, but in a good way, and loads of fluffy sweetness. I knew that there must be some kind of fruits in it, but first I was not really able to pick up what exact fruit it was without knowing the note breakdown. Of course, now I know that it is supposed to be raspberries, which is not necessarily a note that I usually love because it can turn very sour on me, but here it is okay. There was also a type of sweetness that I have smelled in Black Opium Glitter that has that added marshmallow note. I know that a lot of people were not able to smell that marshmallow and that particular Black Opium flanker was not really received well. However, I think it is a really easy reach for me. So the two perfumes are not the same by any means, but that marshmallow sweetness was very similar. If I have to describe Alien Pulp with a kind of layering combination, then I think I could reach a kind of very similar scent experience if I layer the original Alien with some Yum Bougie marshmallow from Kayali. Looking at the notes, the perfume has raspberries, which again I don't smell super strong, jasmine, sweet orange, vanillin, musk and cashmeran. So eventually I was not that far away from that marshmallow fluffiness. It must be the combination of the vanillin and the musks. I saw some people claiming that the performance was a bit weaker than other fragrances in the Alien line, and I kinda agree with it. It doesn't project like the original Alien, it stays much closer to the skin, but after about 12 hours I was still able to smell that fluffy sweetness on my arm. It was not really projecting anymore and it was just a skin scent, but it was still there. Also, let's not forget that it is still quite cold outside and something tells me that this perfume will be even more beautiful for spring. Also, I think this release will not appeal to the people who love the original Alien, as this one is toned down and much less edgy. It is rather an easy reach perfume than anything. And I think the problem is that it is called Alien, and they claim that it is an Alien flanker, which may set some wrong expectations. If you are okay not comparing it with the original one, then I think it will be a nice pick. Okay, so let's move to another fruity release. Scandal Elixir Parfum from Jean-Paul Gaultier. Well, let's start with the short review. I don't like it, and this was a big letdown for me. It has the notes of blackberry, iris and patchouli. The opening was quite nice and fruity, but the moment the iris and the patchouli started coming forward, which eventually happened quite early in the wear, the scent became very earthy, dirty, even dusty or musty. It really turned into a direction that evoked a very weird feeling in me. On the one hand, I am not afraid of earthy tones, so eventually I wanted to smell it and I wanted to enjoy it, but that dusty, musty feeling really turned me off. Usually, I am not really conscious about my perfume in public, but I was really asking myself if I dare to wear this one in public. I was thinking if my colleagues would eventually throw me out of the office if I'm wearing such a dirty patchouli iris scent. Of course, it can be only my skin chemistry and nose. If you love this scent profile and it works out for you, then please share it down below in the comments. The more perspective we have, the more useful this conversation is. Moving on to the next one, which is going to be Good Girl Jasmine Absolute from Carolina Herrera. And let me tell you, this is a very solid release. If you like the Good Girl DNA, but you're looking for something creamier and a touch more florals, then it will be a good pick. In general, I like the stilettos and I also enjoy the design of this version with the added flower element. It features the notes of blackcurrant, mandarin orange on the top, and jasmine and bitter almond in the mid, and tonka beans and toffee in the base. Now, I still smell some kind of coffee and cacao as in the original Good Girl, so either not all the notes have been disclosed or these few notes are playing very nicely together to create the original Good Girl base. It is very creamy, slightly lactonic with some added soapiness from the jasmine. It is great for colder weather. The sweetness and this creamy texture cuts through the cold and you will have that kind of scent bubble even if you're outdoors. It was a quite linear wear on me, so there is not too much to be shared about the wear or scent experience, which usually I don't mind. The first few hours, it projects very, very strong, and after 5-6 hours, it will require a retouch, but I think it is worth it. Now, if it is better than the original Good Girl. And I think a lot of people may like this one more, but the original stiletto still has a special place in my heart. But let me know which Good Girl is your favorite. Share it in the comments. And I think I left one of the best at last. It is Prada Infusion Santal the Chai. This release did not get really any hype, and I don't even understand why. When I saw it online, I pressed the buy button even without really doing any research on the scent. I was like, sandalwood and chai, add to cart. And I know the Prada Infusion line quite well, and every time when I wear them, I am always surprised by their quality. The texture of the scent and also the longevity are beautiful. They are very special in my collection as they have that rather light, airy texture, and they don't go too harsh or cloying on the skin. But in parallel, they are still relatively long-lasting. You would expect 3 or 4 hours tops with this texture, but they last on me for a good 6 hours at least with light to moderate projection. They will never be too loud. They are something that you can wear in warmer weather or to the office without really offending your colleagues. But Santal the Chai. So as it comes from the name, this is a slightly gourmand sandalwood perfume with the notes of cardamom, masala chai spices, sandalwood and musk. And when I first smelled it, it also had that same airy quality mixed with the gourmand facets. But this was not a sweet, cloying gourmand. It was not too sweet, and the spices and the sandalwood were the main characters of this perfume. For the sake of comparison, Starlight from Zerjov came into my mind. They are not the same, but the spices have a kind of similar feel. Santal the Chai is a bit sweeter, and again, it has that special airy quality. So again, they are not dupes, but they are, let's say, somehow related. The opening of the perfume is all about a burst of cardamom. So if you don't like cardamom, then don't even waste time on this fragrance. And as it dries down, the chai spices will come forward and will give you a kind of very cozy, very warming feel. Even though there is milk and sandalwood in the note, this perfume doesn't go too thick. As I said, the musk will make sure that it will remain light enough. The longevity on this particular perfume was a bit less than 6 hours. It started to fade away at the 4-5 hours mark, but I liked the scent that much that it did not really bother me. I just resprayed it. I really enjoyed the wear, and for me, this is a great release for this season. So I guess this was it for today. There are so many new releases that I'm not even sure how to keep up. Are there any perfumes that you are interested in? Share it down below in the comments. And until the next time, bye bye.